So we're here with the Couch family defensive backs coach,
Okay.
Akina. And I guess, to start off, let us know, what were your reactions and kind of feelings when you heard that the position was going to be endowed?
Yeah, just really humbled when they came and shared that with me, and what a generous gift, from the Couch family, and then to have a small part in it, just really never been involved with like something like that. Been involved in a lot of football games, a lot of things, but it is certainly humbling, and to be part of such a generous gift.
And, I guess now to take it back to the football, you know, there's been a lot of talk from, Coach Shaw, from, other media, from the other players about the defensive back group. Being the coach there and having, been a part of a number of, really strong groups, where would you say this one has the potential to grow into?
Yeah, it's got a chance. You're right. I've had some really outstanding groups, while I was at the University of Arizona and the University of Texas, and certainly this group can be, you know, right there with many of those groups, and we just got to see how we'll be by the end of the year. And if we've had some success, so much of it is because of the guys up front, getting pressure on the quarterback. Good pressure equals good coverage on the back end, and Coach Anderson and Hansen and Daron Reynolds do a great job of building patterns to get guys home, so we have a chance to be successful on the back end. And on the other side of it, great coverage equates to good pass rush, if we can make them hold the ball. So it's been a nice being part of a team effort like that.
And I guess on the coverage side, is there something about this group where, some groups maybe fit better with man coverage, some groups fit better with zone? Like, have you kind of figured out what that balance will be with this?
We've really improved our man coverage. I think that's something that we always want to do. This is probably the deepest group that I've had, even when I was at the University of Texas. That 05 group of Michael Huff, Ed Griffin, Griffin, Aaron Ross, Terrell Brown. I mean, there's 3 first-rounders in that group, and number 2, and 2 Thorpe Award winners. But there weren't here. I can go 9 deep. It's very, very competitive, and it's just really it's not combative. It's a great competition, and that's why I think guys are able to hit their potential as players, because you can't rest in the off season. You have to go to work because you'll be exposed. Because whoever played the position last year, we don't care what his name is. It just needs to be played better next year. And if that's the same person, so be it. But it could be somebody else.
And I guess if we just start with maybe the top 2 guys on the outside, with Quentin and Elijah, what is it about those guys that has gotten them to where they are and makes them?
Well, they're great length, great football IQs, really understand concepts, understand the game. They love football, which is, one of the common threads of all the really great defensive backs I've had. I've had a lot of great athletes, but the common thread that equals to great DB are the guys that love ball, that will do the extra things, watch film, come out on the grass, do the weight room, and these guys are all of that, and probably take the mental side of the game as serious as anybody as I've ever had. And they got great athletic ability. So you put all that stuff together, you got a chance for a successful football player.
And then, just going into the depth you mentioned, Can you talk about some of the guys behind them, the younger guys, the freshmen who are coming in?
Well, Alameen Murphy has really improved, as tough and physical as a corner that we've had. He's played a lot of football games for us. Terrence Alexander, same thing, has played a lot. Malik Antoine, who's a corner, had the best spring of all of them, had the most turnovers, takeaways. He's thrown himself in the middle of all that. Obi Ebo and Paulson Adebo, 2 long corners that can really run out of the state of Texas. So that corner position is really something now. And, we can bring Meeks into play nickel. We can bring Malik into play nickel. Terrence has played some nickel. I'm training Elijah and Alameen. So we got a lot of position flexibility also out of that.
And so when you're evaluating the kind of defensive back group after a game, it's easy to look at, passes broken up or turnovers or interceptions. Like, what are maybe some of the other elements that maybe aren't as obvious to the normal fan that you're looking for?
What I look for at times is sometimes we're lucky. Sometimes a guy is popped wide open, but the quarterback wasn't looking there because we did something wrong. And there were other times that we had great coverage, and sometimes the ball beats the coverage, and there's nothing you can do about that. But I look for effort. We want to be associated with a physical defensive group, so being a good tackling football team, playing blocks. I say all the time that, it's an insult for you to just be labeled as a cover guy. You want to be known as a great defensive back, which means understanding the mental side of the game, making the right checks, on what coverages we should be in, depending upon splits. There's so many little things that I think the fans don't see that gives us a chance, whether you're on an inside leverage or outside leverage of a receiver. There's all kind of subtleties that, we look for in order to be successful, because as you get older and you move up in the competitive world of football, athletic ability is going to cancel each other out. Now it comes to who's the technician, who understands the game, because when you start talking about playing for Pac-12 championships, national championships, to get to those games, you're competing with great athletes. Yeah. So now who understands all the little things of the game, and that's what we practice for every day. We're practicing to play for the national championship and hold that level.
One last question. Replacing Dallas Lloyd at the safety position, if you had to handicap that right now, who would you say is kind of the front runner?
Well, I tell you, Dallas was just such a big part of our success a year ago. The one that is wonderful to see is Justin Reed. Dallas took him under the wing to be the guy that mentally really understands it. So Justin Reed is really that guy. And now you're talking about a young man that is just a phenomenal athlete. And I'm really excited about him. I think he's the best kept secret in college football. And I've been involved with some outstanding safeties over my years. And I get used to that name, Justin Reed.
Awesome.